Good morning. This is the Unity Singers Choir. We're very happy to be here, and we would like to sing another song, but have you join us. And it has some hand motions, and we'll show you what they are. So if you'd like to stand and join us in singing, just make sure when you do the hand motions that you don't hit the person next to you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That one was kind of fun, wasn't it? I mean, I had to watch them really closely to make sure I got all the hand motions down. But the good news was my wife did not bop me even once. So welcome. We're really glad that you're here. I asked Geraldine if she would come up and light our candle just to get us going. And as she's lighting the candle, what a wonderful reminder that the spark, the Spirit of God is deep within us. And that flame is never extinguished. It's always there. We might forget to look sometimes. We might not become aware of it, but it's always there. So thank you, Geraldine. And here is our prayer vessel. So if you like, after the service, we'd love it if you put a prayer request in there for yourself, for somebody else, for a situation in your life, for a situation in the world. And what happens is we pray over it for a week here, then we send it back to Unity Village where it's prayed over for a month. So it's a very cool way to release a lot of prayer power on a situation. But we also do the same thing in another way, and that is with our prayer chaplain program. Could I have our prayer chaplain stand for today? Okay, so we'll have one, I was going to say we'll have one in my office, but I learned last week it's no longer my office. So we'll have one in the, what are we calling it, Geraldine? Library. Yeah. We'll have one in the library. And we'll have one in the meditation room. Can't remember if I mentioned, but last week Geraldine said, she came up and talked to me, she said, yeah, about your old office. So I knew I was gone. So we'll have prayer chaplains in the library and in the meditation room. And if you haven't prayed with somebody else, it's really, I think it's an interesting thing. It's a great way of doing things to enter into prayer with somebody else. Because we do have that passage that says, wherever two or more are gathered in the name of spiritual consciousness, so many great things can happen. So would you join me in an opening prayer? So first of all, let's just breathe. And with all the things going on in our lives, let's just choose to be here for the next hour or so. So Spirit of God, you touch my heart. You touch my soul. And you elicit such great things from me. You remind me of who I am. You remind me of all the powers that I have. But the greatest reminder of all is the power of the relationship that I have with you, God. That you fill my heart and my soul and my spirit and my mind. And so we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Namaste.
Well, we would like you to sing with us again. So if you'd like to stand, we can join together in singing, Come Into This Place.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Justin Derwick, your celebration assistant for today, and we love it that you are here and on this wonderful Sunday. Welcome to Unity of Spiritual Growth, where all people who wish to worship here are welcome. We strive to live, love, and uplift lives. We are an inclusive and affirming church, and we bless people of all races, sexual orientations, colors, political beliefs, or anything else they are or may have been judged on in the past. We simply welcome everyone who wants to pursue their spiritual path. And let me introduce our musicians for today. And of course, they are the lovely Unity Choir on vocals. Woo! And we have our choir director, Julie Croteau, and then Leanne Erlen Moore on piano. And then in the back, we have Jim Sullenberger on the sound, Brian Wright on PowerPoint, and Tammy is helping with our video streaming today. Thank you. And thank you, everyone who makes the Sunday service happen. We greatly appreciate all that you do because it takes a lot of volunteers for a Sunday service. So thank you. If we have anyone here for the first time today, we want to thank you for being here, and we're glad to have you join us, and we hope you have a great time. And we have a welcome packet for you, so if you are feeling willing to raise your hand, we will get one of the greeters to bring you one of those packets. And also, welcome to the folks who may be here for the first time on live stream. You can let us know that you're here by clicking on the Connect with Us button on the website. You can submit your contact information, a prayer request, or a request for information by clicking on the Connect with Us link. It is available on the Synopsis tab in the website streaming window. And hopefully you saw the announcements describing the upcoming activities on the screen before the service. If not, they are listed in your program and on the website. So please join us and get involved. It's a great way to get to know these wonderful people. And let me draw your attention to some of the announcements that we have. So, you won't want to miss the Gathering Time movement. The 4th annual Spirit Rising Festival, and this festival features a wide-ranging group of vendors and artists offering items such as crystals, jewelry, artwork, homemade candles, and essential oils, plus other holistic services. Unity will have a booth as well. You are encouraged to show your New Age style, so wings and crowns are encouraged. There will also be a talent show, music, and drumming circle, so all are welcome. That is...
And I've got a sign-up sheet because we need some volunteers to staff the booth. So if you'd like to sign up for a period of time, that would be great. I'll just pass it around. Just keep it moving.
And next Sunday, June 9th at 11:30 a.m., the board will conduct a Q&A session to update the congregation. These sessions will also include the results of the community survey, and everyone is welcome to attend. Also, the Unity Center of Divine Love and Light in North Spokane is inviting our congregation to a kickoff to summer barbecue on Sunday, June 30th, after the Sunday service. In addition to the barbecue, there will be games with prizes and an ice cream truck. Awesome. A Course of Love is a follow-up to A Course in Miracles, where A Course in Miracles is for the mind, A Course in Love is for the heart. In other words, A Course in Love is not a way of thought and effort, but a way of feeling, of ease, and of direct relationship. If interested, pick up the book online and join facilitator Laura Siddell each Tuesday from 1:30 to 3 p.m. And each fall we conduct a gathering of the water ceremony to honor the connection we all share with water. And this ritual relies on you collecting water samples from various bodies of water you encounter over the spring and summer. So make a habit of bringing a small vial with you on your adventures so you can take a collection. You will be invited to join them with those of others during this popular fall ritual. And if you enjoy gardening, consider maintaining one of our parking lot medians for the spring and summer. As a caretaker, you will help us maintain our landscape's beauty and appeal. Each median is numbered, so once you figure out the one you want to adopt, check in with Geraldine in the office so she can record your name and median number. And finally, the Unity's book sale continues with books on offer for $1 each. There are select items available on the tables in the hallway. We have a large inventory, so until our stock diminishes, we are unable to take new books. Also, we are moving our book library from the Friendship Hall to the office outside the sanctuary. This new space will become a multi-function room open to the public. And then I also have an announcement from Tammy.
Can I have everybody who volunteered for Family Promise this week stand up? Thank you so much. It means so much that our church steps up, volunteers to help families in our area when they're having a hard time and to help see them through. And I'm very proud of it. It filled up. We had two wonderful families that we helped. And also coming up for Family Promise on Friday, June the 21st is a golf tournament. Nancy has the flyer back there. And we have a team. And we want to win. One of the things Family Promise does to raise money is they sell cheats. We need cheats for our team to win. If you'd like to donate cheats, like you can buy a string, and if you buy a string, you get to consider your putts in from anywhere within that string. Now, we're okay golfers, but this makes you exceptional golfers, and we would like to win. So, and those things cost money. They're out to make money. We're out to give money. So if you'd like to contribute to the Unity team, come see myself or Nancy. Thanks.
And now for one last announcement from Nancy and Lauren. Please come up and, are you? Oh, I'm sorry. There were lots of people coming at me this morning. All right, so where are we here? And it is the first Sunday of the month. So it is Birthday Sunday. Would anybody who has a birthday in this month please stand? We want to sing to you and honor you. Now we are going to have a few minutes to meet and greet one another, and we will ring the gong when we'd like you to return to your seats. So please say hi to your friends and meet someone new.
Scott's coming up for
Inspirational.
before he comes up, let me do it.
Okay. So, one more announcement before we have our inspirational reading.
Since we only had 8 more announcements, I thought we were a little short. Well, it's about that time of the year when we're looking for new prayer chaplains. I mean, obviously the existing ones get to renew and continue being prayer chaplains. But if you'd like to be a prayer chaplain, or if you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, I'll pass around the sign-up sheet, and just to put it in the back of your minds, we're going to have a training class on Saturday, June 29th, and it'll be on what's that mean to be a prayer chaplain. So I'll pass this around. Same thing, keep it moving.
And now we'll have Scott Hicks come up and give our inspirational reading.
Morning. You know, the inspirational reading has to do with the weather, so I have to keep in touch with the weather here. It was a dark and stormy night. A young 8-year-old boy was having a hard time going to sleep, and he was shuddering in his bed, and his mom came in to give him a kiss goodnight. And he says, "Mommy, can you spend the night with me tonight?" And she looks at her almost crying little boy and says, "I can't, sweetie. I got to sleep with Daddy." And his mommy was getting ready to turn off the light and close the door. The son yelled out, "He's a big sissy, isn't he?" So anyway, rain helps us appreciate the rainbow just a little bit more. And times of injury and illness can help us appreciate the healing and the good health a little bit more too. True health and honest-to-goodness healing is less about the magical cure and more about letting go of everything that isn't you. Let go of the expectations that others have of you. Let go of your judgment about yourself. Just like there is always time for pain and suffering in the world, there is also time for healing and love. And here's the secret about healing yourself. Healing yourself always begins when we heal and help others. And so it is. Namaste.
You are sacred love, sacred
So let's take a few minutes now in meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes. Put down anything that you might be holding, just so you can give yourself permission to step into the sacred love. So let's just breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. And we breathe in and we do breathe in sacred love. The sacred love that surrounds us, that is a part of the universe. It surrounds us and it's as close as our breath. We breathe in sacred love and it fills us. And it reminds us that we are love, that we've always been love, and that we always will be love. Because our sacred love enriches us within. It fills our inner world, and we take sacred love and we mix it with our human consciousness and our spiritual consciousness. And it fills us with a subtle, gentle rhythm that can hardly be described. We breathe in sacred love and we breathe it out. And although our inner world is enriched and powerful, it touches the lives of others too. Let's take that awareness into the silence. And let's just be aware that our very being is sacred love in the silence. Spirit of God, you touch us. You bless us. You light our very pathway with sacred love. And we say, thank you, God. And so it is. So it is. Namaste.
Sacred love is all
Thank you. When I came in this morning, somebody said, it's Hawaiian Day. And they gave me this lei. And I thought, oh, this is the first I've heard of it. And I thought, the whole congregation is going to be here in Hawaiian garb. And I think, no, it was just for the choir. And so I think you brought it for me, so thank you, but it's really hot. So. Thank you. I think one of the things that we have to remember is that God has an incredible sense of humor. And we forget that sometimes. We think we have to be all solemn and very, very serious when it comes to church. Not at all. And here's my proof of that God has a great sense of humor, whatever God is, right? And that is, I decided I wanted to do a whole month with the theme of health and healing. And so, as I've been getting ready for that, deciding what the titles are going to be and what I'm going to do each Sunday, God said, deal with this. And so I've had the worst back pain and sciatica that I've ever had. And so I thought, well, this really hurts. But I thought, nice joke, guy. Good job. But at the same time, it's a really important reminder about something else. And that is, when we're really doing our thing spiritually, when we're really into the Spirit of God, and as we get deeper and deeper and deeper on that theme, on that focus of health and healing, it does not mean, if you're really spiritual, if you're really doing it sincerely, it does not mean that you never get sick or injured. It's not about that. It's about how you deal with it when it occurs. So, and I think that's important because I can remember, I got started in Unity in 1979, and there was kind of a funny thing going on then, which is nobody could ever admit that they had a problem health-wise. You know, if somebody said, hey, how you doing? And you said, oh, I'm kind of fighting a cold. You know, they would say, oh, I don't do colds anymore. And then the typical spiritual response is, yeah. It's not that you don't contract illnesses or injuries. It's how you deal with it when they come. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to look at today. So, because the whole month is going to be allocated to looking at different aspects of health and healing, as illnesses and injuries and disabilities occur, it makes sense, I think, to realize, of course, there's physical causes, and there's emotional causes, there's mental causes, there's spiritual causes, and you can't really separate them. They're all really connected, aren't they? Yeah, of course. So, I mean, I'm going to arbitrarily separate them. Today, I'm going to talk more about some of the physical stuff, but I can't separate it from the spiritual and emotional and mental stuff. So even though my main focus today is going to be on physical things, I'll make mistakes and I'll keep popping up with spiritual and mental and emotional aspects of it too. So, how do we contract illnesses and injuries and disabilities? And I think there's three major ways. And the first one I would say is life just brings some of it to our door. I mean, there's minor things like you just get a cold, you get the flu. No big deal. Oh, yeah, you might feel miserable for a day or two, but it's not exactly life-threatening. It's a cold. And sometimes life just brings that. Sometimes it's more serious, right? You haven't done anything wrong, and yet you're in an automobile accident, and you're very seriously injured. And could you say that, there's some things you could have done differently? Oh, I suppose. But the reality is that life just brings some things to our door. We're human beings. We're spiritual beings on a human journey, but that human journey is filled with different aspects, and some of them surround health. So life brings some things to our door. Secondly, our own practices bring some to the door, right? If you eat too much and don't exercise enough, yeah, it's going to bring me a little tummy, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's the way it is. Our own practices sometimes bring things to us, right? If we don't get enough exercise, or get a little bit older, and then sometimes that affects the heart. So sometimes we can smoke for 30 years and we go, wow, of all the rotten luck, I got lung cancer. Yeah. So that's certainly one of the things that we have to look at is our own practices. And when we are confronted with illnesses or injuries, then I think it's important to take a look and say, are there some things that I need to change? And again, and I'll only repeat this about 20 more times, that it's not that we don't contract illnesses and injuries. Nearly everybody does. Instead, what it is, it's how you react when it happens. And certainly one of the best ways that we can react is by examining our own practices. And one specific practice that we have, and this is where things start overlapping a little bit, and that's with our thought patterns. If we consistently have thought patterns that are, I'm such a loser, I'm just so bad, I'm always sick, I feel sick, and right now I'm healthy and I know it's just a prelude because I know I'm going to be sick later. Yeah. Sometimes our thought patterns get to us, don't they? Yeah. And so that's just kind of a subset of some of our different kinds of practices. I think that there's 4 purposes behind different kinds of illnesses, injuries, disabilities. And the first one, I think, is that sometimes when there's a very serious problem, I think sometimes it is there simply to demonstrate that miracles occasionally can happen. Because I think when we get an illness or an injury, we're never sure, am I supposed to get a miracle healing here? Yeah, and we sure hope so. And that doesn't happen very often. But in researching this topic, I was taking a look at it, and it seems to me that in Christianity, in Buddhism, in Taoism, in Judaism, it seems like the spiritual leaders in each one of those movements seem to do miracles. And I imagine, with us being human beings, we got impressed, right? We got wowed. And so we said, well, we've got this guy named Jesus, and he's from Nazareth, and he is doing things like healing the blind and healing the lame, and he's taken a couple of people and risen them from the dead. And I mean, if you were a part of that 2,000 years ago, wouldn't that just blow you away? Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like, how do we explain that? So occasionally, miracles do come our way. And I think that happens. I mean, I've heard half a dozen people in here tell me about themselves or a spouse who was just very ill and expected to die, and there was just no treatment. There was nothing that could be done, and they miraculously were cured. So it happens. It happens. But I think so that's one reason. I think the second reason, and I think more often it's this one, when we have illnesses And I'm talking about serious ones now. A serious illness, a serious injury, a serious disability. Sometimes it's just to demonstrate for yourself and the world that it doesn't matter. And so I'm thinking in particular of Beethoven. Okay? Certainly one of the greatest composers who ever lived, born deaf. And I'm sure people said, well, hey, Ludwig, you can do lots of things, but you certainly can't be involved in music, you're deaf. And sometimes the disabilities don't matter. Helen Keller, both deaf and blind, and I'm sure they said, have some practical limitations. You can't do very much. And she was the first person, male or female, to ever graduate with a bachelor's degree who was both deaf and blind. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I mean, if you want to be an elected official, you've certainly got to be impressive. You got to look pretty cool. And so FDR contracted polio in 1921. And beginning in 1932, he was elected to the office of the presidency 4 times. He was elected so many times, they said, you can't do that anymore. So now you can only get elected twice. And the last one I jotted down was Stephen Hawking. And just doing a little bit of research on this one, I didn't know how Stephen Hawking ended up in a wheelchair. Apparently he was at Cambridge and fell downstairs. And he fell down the stairs so hard that it led to him contracting ALS. And so that put him in the wheelchair, and he's only an award-winning physicist and particular expert on black holes. And just to show his fame for this guy who has ALS and in a wheelchair and can't even talk, just to show that, it's just so amazing that when I mentioned his name, everybody went, oh, yeah. I mean, we all knew his name, right? So there's just so many things that can happen. And of course, because I'm not very tall, I'm 5'6". My favorite example is Muggsy Bogues. I don't know if you know that name or not. He was a professional basketball player, and he was 5'3". And they said his hands were physically too small to dunk a basketball, but he could dunk a volleyball. And I was at a conference once in Charlotte, and I had the honor of watching a professional basketball game where Patrick Ewing was coming down the court and went up for a shot, and Muggsy Bogues stuffed him. And I said, yes, little guys. So I think that's a really important aspect of trying to figure out why we have illnesses or injuries or disabilities. It just is a demonstration that it doesn't matter, that we are really, in spite of appearances, putting our own limitations on things. The third reason I put down was that, and I see this from time to time. I've been doing what I do for a living. I end up going to people who are about ready to die in the hospital, and I'll talk to the loved ones there. And sometimes that person who's about to pass away has done everything they're supposed to do. They've made the connections, they've developed the relationships, they've learned the lessons that they were supposed to learn. And it's just time. And man, that's a hard one for the ones left behind, right? Yeah. But I think that's the reality. And then the fourth one, the fourth reason, is that sometimes when we contract major illnesses, major injuries, sometimes it's just a signal that there's some health practices we need to change. And so, I mean, certainly for me, as this last week, as I've had the sciatica act up and the lower back pain act up, I thought, oh yeah, I guess I probably need to lose some weight. So, I know, that's what I said. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? I think number one on the list, and this is for any of you who do have a major illness or a major injury, probably not a major disability on the particular one I'm going to say, and that is that sometimes we just need to change our thought patterns. I like unity. I like coming here. I've been coming here for a long time, and the reason I like it is because the focus is on more positive thinking, more positive affirmations. I like that. I think that's a good way to live your life. It doesn't mean tough things don't come our way. And when they do, that just says, let's be realistic, let's see what's happening, but at the same time, let's discover what in our thought patterns lead to the kind of health challenges that we might be experiencing. So that's one thing, is that sometimes we have to do that. I think sometimes, and this is sort of an aspect of the thought patterns, we have to realize that we replace ourselves within our bodies frequently. You know, so for example, the white blood cells in our body, they're replaced about every 24 hours. Our stomach lining is replaced about every 3 days. Our skeleton system, that takes about 10 years to replace it entirely. Which, by the way, for many of us in here, that means it's already been replaced 4 times, 6 times, 8 times. So even though that's a little bit longer, it's still there. And here's what I think. I think when we look at that, we say, holy cow, my cells keep changing all the time. The stomach lining changes every 3 days. And if I have some problems, if I have ulcers, why is it that I keep replacing the bad cells with new bad cells? Yeah, well, why can't I change my thought patterns? Because the changing of the cells is going to come. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so why can't I make a step towards changing it in a more positive way? So I think it's useful to be aware of just how often we change the cells throughout our body. Heraclitus, Greek philosopher, said that no person can step into the same river twice. And I don't know about you, but for me, I mean, we've all heard that one before, right? For me, when I've heard that sentence and when I've thought about it, what I've thought to myself is, yeah, the river keeps changing. So if I go to the river and I put a foot in and then I step out again and then I put the foot into the river again, the river's changed. It's not the same river. It's been flowing past me. And so that's mostly what I've focused on. What I have not focused on before is, I'm replacing cells all the time. So if I step into the river and then I step out again and I step in again, I am quite literally a different person. Yeah, and we might think that that's kind of minor, but the point of that is that we enter different situations. And there's a piece of us that sometimes says, well, I've been going to that church for 25 years, just the same old church. No, it's not. Things change. We can't step into the same church twice because the church keeps changing. And I'm thinking of a person wanting to join the board at a church, and the person says, no, they always fight, and the board meetings last for hours, and I do not want to be a part of that. You know, and then it's kind of like, no, that was 10 years ago. You can't step into the same river twice. You can't go to the same church twice. It keeps changing. You know, and so I think that's an important aspect of trying to understand our health, that the cells keep changing. I like, it's kind of like, oh, I recognize that cry. and what that says is, when we are replacing cells all the time, let's see if we can't change our practices, our thought practices, in a healthier way, in a more positive way. And one of the ways we can do that is by using what's called the point of power. And you may have heard that phrase before, the point of power. I think Louise Hay, as an author, was the first one to talk about the point of power, but it's the same thing 20 years later when Eckhart Tolle talked about the power of now. It was in the mid-'70s when A Course in Miracles first came out, and it talked about the holy instant. And it's the same thing. And what that says is, do we want to get better? Well, we understand that the point of power means bringing our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our internal energy to this present moment, to right here and right now, to replace past thoughts that haven't served us very well, and instead come right here and right now. Because that's what the point of power is. Okay? Can we be fixed if we have a major illness or injury? Well, we don't know about that, and the reason we don't know about that is because we don't know the purpose. If you've learned everything that you're supposed to learn, maybe not. But what we do is we keep focusing on the here and now, that point of power, and we understand that we need to let go of past thoughts that no longer serve us, sometimes past practices, sometimes past relationships, and instead we move into this moment now. And I thought one of the, just to kind of close this, I thought one of the things that might be useful to share is this concept of centering prayer. And you may have heard that phrase before, but might not know what it refers to. So just thought I'd give you the steps on centering prayer. And so centering prayer says choose a mantra. That's the first step. A mantra means a word or a short phrase that really speaks to you. For me, it's God is within me. And I have a longer mantra too, but for the purposes of the centering prayer, that's the one I use. God is within me. And the whole idea is to get comfortable. You either lay down or you sit comfortably, and you just say your mantra. And as you speak your mantra, you feel it. You let it reverberate throughout your body. Usually we start with our mind and move to our throat and to our heart, our lungs. And we just let that mantra fill us up. And you're going to have mind chatter. You know why? Because you're a human being. And you're going to have things that you think about. You're going to be really holy and spiritual, and you're going to be saying, oh, and God is within me. God is within me. God. Boy, how is that TV series going to come out? Yeah. Of course. We're human beings, and you don't berate yourself. You just go back. You go back to the mantra, and you speak it again and again. And then the whole idea is that you want to do that, and the length of time will vary. But it shouldn't be just a minute or two. You know, it should be 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and you just sit with that. You sit with that feeling that you've developed inside. And if you're trying to deal with a particular illness or injury or disability, the whole point of centering prayer is that you don't try and fix yourself now. As a matter of fact, the challenge that I would make to any of you, if this speaks to you, this idea of using centering prayer, here's the challenge I would give you. And that is, don't try and fix anything. Don't ask God to fix anything for 1 month. Yeah, just do that. Just use the centering prayer. Use it when you're laying in bed at night. Use it when you first get up in the morning. And what happens is you open your mind first. You open your heart first. You open your soul first. And that's through the power of centering prayer. You act later. Oh, if there's practices that you know are damaging yourself, yeah, get rid of those practices. But if you're asking God to heal you, let that rest for 1 month. And instead, just do that. Just say the mantra. Let it fill you up deep inside. And I'll just leave you with this idea that there's many different aspects to health and healing. And this is just one. But if you're dealing with an issue in your own personal life, if you're dealing with a physical illness or injury or disability, there are so many things we can do with it. And what we don't want to do is just lament and say, oh, why does this happen to me? Because what counts is what we do with it from this moment on. So thank you.
Hey everybody, it's love offering time. If you can share some of your financial blessings with the church, it would be much appreciated, of course. Now, if this is your first time here, please know that we don't ask you to give. Instead, please just be our guest. If you are watching online, you can contribute by clicking on the Give button in the website streaming window, and offerings will be very secure. Now, we always have someone from the congregation who comes and reads our Sunday Prosperity blessing, and today that is Lauren and Nancy Nelson.
Thanks. We called Dennis, come stand over here, baby. We called Dennis this week and asked if we could share this incredible story with you guys. Lauren, and I'm going to read it so I won't ad-lib too much. Lauren is blessed with the God-given spiritual gift of generosity. As many of you that knows Lauren, you can attest to that. He likes to give. He actually has been tithing most of his adult life. And what's your favorite saying about that?
Take care of God, He'll take care of you.
That's right. Well, we recently had a very interesting blessing. Two miracles happened in the last couple weeks. Many of you know that Lauren has been in the Kirby vacuum business for over 50 years. He truly loves his vocation. Small shout out. His shop services and stocks for all vacuum types. And it's on Government, just north of Dalton. And they're closed on Sunday and Monday. Lauren services the Kirbys, and his right-hand man, Dr. J, the vacuum doctor, services all the rest of them. Jay would open the store at about 8 or 8:30, and Lauren would stroll in about 9 or 10. Well, up until about a month ago, that is, when Jay went in for surgery to remove a cancerous kidney. Thanks for all your prayers. That's one of the miracles from last week. Jay is now up and about and has been declared cancer-free. So here's the second miracle. But we have to go back to November 2023. 2 days before Thanksgiving, Jay retrieved something from the Kirby mailbox that was quite extraordinary and strange. He immediately called his boss at home and asked if we were sitting down. He had just opened an envelope that had been returned to Kirby. According to the date stamp, we had mailed the bags to a customer in this envelope way back in June of 2021. That was when I was still working at the post office. The return address was in my handwriting. Now, the original customer's name was covered with masking tape, and the second name printed on the masking tape was now covered with a return to sender sticker. So, of course, our wonderful postal service returned it to the sender, us. So, Jay then said, So Jay then said, my hands are still shaking. There's a ton of $100 bills in this envelope. We're like, yeah, sure. You're joking. Is this April Fool's? He's like, no, I'll send you some pictures. I've just counted it. There's 20,400 $1 bills. 20,400. So after our original shock, we decided it would be better for Lauren to get to the office before they called the cops. Then after the one cop that they sent, after his shock was over, he gave them a receipt, took the money, and said if no one claims it, well then, yeah, maybe you might have a claim to it. Yeah, we'll see.
Didn't give it a thought that we'd ever get it.
Yeah, really. So Jay called a few times over the next months. They said that the second addressee was deceased, and that the dogs had determined that it was drug money. To which Jay said, I'm sure if you took any random $100 bills, at least one of them the dogs would identify as drug money. So, last week, after Jay hadn't been there for 4 weeks, we got a call from the police department saying, since Jay had made the initial call, he had to answer a few more questions. So Jay went in last Wednesday, and being the dutiful, wonderful guy he is, brought back to the Kirby office $20,400 bills. And Lauren, being the most generous person that he is, split it with his right-hand man. So, here is our tithe for the day, $1,020. You take care of God, and God takes care of you.
Growing love, growing love, we're forever growing love. It's a seed that we can sow. With our caring it will grow. We are family, we are friends, and the healing never ends. Together we're forever growing love. Growing love, growing love, we're forever growing love. It's a seed that we can sow. With our caring it will grow. We are family, we are friends, and the feeling never ends. Together we're forever growing love. Growing love, growing love, we're forever growing love. It's a seed that we can sow. With our caring it will grow. We are family, we are friends, and the feeling never ends. Together we're forever growing love. Growing love, growing love, we're forever growing love. It's a seed that we can sow. With our caring it will grow. We are family, we are friends, and the feeling never ends. Together we're forever growing love. Together we're forever growing love.
Would you join me in a short little prayer for these love offerings? So, Spirit of God, we do say thank you. We say thank you for the love offerings just now and for the great story from Nancy and Lauren. We're blessed in so many ways, and somehow it just sometimes comes to our door, and we just need the eyes to open up and see it. So we say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And here come the kids. So, Amber, what did the kids learn about today?
Today, we learned about the third eye chakra, which is all about our intuition, our inner wisdom, and our inner knowing. And we did some yoga, meditation. We went out to the garden to start our garden bed today. And we also played a game that had to do with our intuition. And Jackson is going to read our affirmation for today. So if you could repeat after Jackson.
I am in harmony with the universe.
I am in harmony with the universe.
I listen to my intuition. My thoughts are clear and calm.
My thoughts are clear and calm.
I have all that I need within me.
I have all that I need.
I am connected to the infinite wisdom of God.
I'm connected to the infinite wisdom.
Thank you, Jackson.
Okay. Thanks, kids. If you'd like to go back to your parents or grandparents, that'd be great. As they're going back to the parents, I thought, man, sounds like the kids had more fun than we did. Okay, if you'd like to stand, let's sing our closing song.
Peace that was meant to be.
join me in our closing prayer, the prayer for protection together? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thanks for being here today. Don't forget, today's Potluck Sunday, so go down and help yourselves.